What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and back in the FJ again. Actually, I record 2 or 3 videos in the FJ and then go do FJ stuff. So today we're going to watch another police video, or another body. No, this isn't body cam, but this is just another police video. But this one, I know a lot. I know a lot about personally because I've seen this personally. I've experienced it personally. I've been around this personally when I worked as a CO. This one is a female cop gets caught seducing inmates. Now, it's not just the female cops. It's not just it's not just females. It's also, we've seen, situations with the males and the female inmates. But you see it a lot with the female inmates. Now, with the female officers. Now, let me tell you the situation of jail, being incarcerated, that whole circle of law enforcement in the jail, right? And I'm speaking for the jail. I'm not talking about in the Leos, but in the jail, you're in a situation that's very stressful for everyone, for the inmates and for the officers and for the people who work there, the nurses and all that stuff. You're in there for these shifts that these people do. Normally, it's not abnormal to see a 12-hour shift. Not abnormal. It's not abnormal where people have done doubles. All right, it's not abnormal where you do 16 hours. 8-hour shifts is like, oh wow, 8 hours. That's great. That's not really normal. Like, to get stuff done, you need a lot of time there, like, to get things done. And the turnaround in this job is huge. I only did it for almost 6 years. So, it's not a job that everyone likes to do for the rest of their life. There's people that do, there's some that don't. I wasn't one that was going to stick around for this the whole time. But in my time that I was there, I've seen this. It's a very stressful job. And sometimes, it's like you don't have time for your personal life, to really have a personal life, because when you're off, you're so tired, you're going to go to sleep, or you're so stressed, you're going to go drink or do something, and that's when your life, it's a very, very crazy thing. And this happens a lot because the women are looking for that connection that they're not having outside, because when they get out, it's either to sleep, really, they only have a little bit of time to take care of personal business, or they're too drunk to even get into a relationship. And if they do, it's not really a good one. You know what I mean? Because it's a stressful job, very, very stressful. So what happens is they're in there so long with these inmates, and the inmates are very manipulative. You got these inmates that aren't seeing women for a while. They're just with men. So you get a female officer, they're going to treat her like she's a queen. You know what I mean? They're going to treat her like the woman that they wish they had outside. Even if that's not even their type of woman, they're still going to treat her like, how we used to say when we were deployed in the Army, queen for a year. you, you veterans know what I'm talking about. But they that's what they do. So the women can, if they're not very strong-minded, they can fall into this. Not all of them do. A lot of them are like, nah, get out of here with that. But a lot of them do, especially if they live alone and everything. They're like, man, I'm getting a lot of attention. This guy, and that's what happens. But anyway, let's watch what happens to this woman caught seducing inmates. They probably treated her like a stripper.
This is Charlene O'Banion, a prison officer being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
You felt me, I was like soaking through my clothes.
After hearing rumors from other officers that had seen her and Jason Parker together, an investigation was opened up. Charlene thinks she flew under the radar and got away, but what she doesn't know is that the detectives have all the evidence they need, and they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
You got a lot of that head game. Oh my God.
Right from the start, Charlene plays innocent and pretends she doesn't know anything about the allegations.
We're notified.
I'm sorry, it's a damn. Hey, so you got a lot of head game.
Of a possible improper relationship between you and Jacob Parker. So we're here for that. And I just kind of wanted to talk to you about it and get your side of that story.
I don't know anything about it. I mean,
Okay. Have you talked to him on any jail phone calls or anything like that?
no.
None at all?
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detectives have much more evidence than they're letting on.
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here for, I don't know what period of time. And he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message and I blocked him on Facebook. And I guess one time Parker was going back to Bequat to use the bathroom and he was talking like at the window with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Coker like didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything. And Parker had told me that he had gone up to him and was like, don't talk to her or something crazy like that.
Yo, I don't understand. I don't. No, not I don't understand, but like when you're working in this type of environment, like as a Leo or as a correctional officer, it doesn't. It's not a benefit. It's not good to have social media. I mean, they have it. Obviously, nobody says you can't, but you got to understand. People can find you. You're in a job where you're you're gonna have to rough some people up. You're gonna have to, discipline people. You gotta enforce the law, and people don't like that. Inmates aren't gonna like that. It's easy to find you on social media. It's easy to find you on social. It's easy. I don't care if you have your shit private, because all you gotta do is, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you how to, but I work in cybersecurity now, but it's easy to find people on social media. We all know that. All of us know that. You don't got to be in cyber to know that. We all know that.
So I'm just not trying to be rude here. I'm just.
Yeah.
Why would you expect this conversation to come up from that? Like now, if that happened a few months ago.
Charlene claims that the only time she's had contact with Jason was a single time outside the jail bathroom, and it was a jealous inmate that started the rumor. But the detective is about to share some evidence that instantly proves that Charlene is hiding something.
I don't know exactly where
He
how it
bought
started,
crazy
like, who it
receipts.
started from, but I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls, and there's jail calls between you and Parker, and all that stuff's recorded. So I don't think you're being completely truthful. Well, I kind of know that you're not, and I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out on the table for you. So can you kind of tell me what's going on?
I guess a few years ago, we talked, and then I ended up here, and then he ended up here. I didn't know he was here. It wasn't anything like that.
Apparently, Charlene and Jason knew each other before prison and messed around before they both ended up here. This led to them joking around with each other here, but nothing else. Or at least, that's what she claims. In reality, the cops have recorded phone calls from inside the prison that tell a completely different story.
So what about some of these phone conversations?
No, not here or the phone.
No, I just mean conversations y'all are having on the phone.
No.
Since he's been in here.
Like sexual?
Well, I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it as that you've given him oral sex at some point, is what I gather from these calls.
She should. I know this woman didn't try to call this dude. Why? I know she didn't call him from home to the jail. I know she didn't, because we all know, everybody in the world, in other countries, in the middle of sub-Sahara, know that these calls are all recorded. I know she didn't do that.
No, that was like in the world, but we never dated. We just.
Okay. What kind of conversations have you had with him since you started working here and he's been in the jail?
I don't know, just talking about what would happen after he got out.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home, or? Okay.
Just 15 minutes into this interrogation, Charlene's original story is seeming less and less like the truth. She's been caught in multiple lies, admitted to having sexual relations with Jason in the past, and calling him regularly from her own home. This is highly irregular behavior for a prison officer.
Yes.
And it doesn't take a genius to realize something deeper may be going on. But the detective has some more questions pertaining to some more physical evidence.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about, like, photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
Mm-mm. I gave him a photograph of his mom, which he had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
Mm-mm. No, because...
So one of the things we're going to be doing is, like, looking at cameras and stuff, too. Has there been any times where y'all were alone?
Mm-mm.
Or you go out of camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
I don't think so.
It's important to remember that Charlene has worked at this prison for a while now, and as such will
She should
know all
know.
the ins and outs of
Yeah.
everything such as security
She'll
camera
know.
blind spots and patrol officer schedules. You'd think that with all this knowledge, it'd be easy to hide a relationship with an inmate. But it seems that she forgot about a few vital pieces of information. Not least the facts that all phone calls placed from the prison are recorded. But thanks to the detectives, she's about to be reminded of this fact in a devastating way.
Oh, they got.
Baby, guess what?
What, babe?
I just won the blackjack game.
Yay.
I just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you. I was trying to make you think I have all these secret things.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
What?
What? What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably got this weird sex swing hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
You'd let me put you in it?
Yeah.
With a gag bar and everything?
Oh my God.
Yeah, babe.
Listening to your own voice can be bad enough for some people, but listening to your
Yo, this is bad.
own sexual phone calls
bad.
in silence with two detectives in the room as you realize you've just been caught red-handed has got to be worse than any prison sentence there is. However, with the language they've used so far, there's no evidence that the pair have actually engaged in any
true.
sexual
That's
acts.
true. That's just
but
they were
that changes
talking.
quickly as
But that's enough to get her fired, though. In the jail, that's enough to get her fired.
Jason begins to directly incriminate Charlene on the call.
I just want you to look at me sometimes and be like, damn, my woman's fine.
Fine as wine.
Hmm?
And you got a live ass fucking head game. Oh my God.
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Meh, meh. Are you in bed?
Don't even get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Like just going back and thinking about
Yeah.
that.
It gets you horny?
Oh yeah. You felt me. I was like soaking through my clothes. I get very
Wow.
horny very easy. I always want to have
Not
sex.
good.
Like that's not even.
Not good.
I mean, it's not like I just like look at someone. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking horny. No, like of course, like I only get horny for you.
You kind of see how that sounds from, like, my point of view.
I was like, can you see how that can sound kind of sexual? Yo, I already.
Like a more recent thing than 3 years ago. No?
The audacity she has to
Wow,
say
she
no
said no.
after hearing that phone call is truly remarkable. But to her credit, she's not going down easily. The detectives try asking her if she thinks Jason would cover for her, and she still doesn't break, sticking to her story that everything that happened outside of prison. Technically, this story could still be true with this phone call, but it definitely is odd for the couple to be recounting events from over 3 years ago in such detail, especially when earlier she struggled to remember any details about their relationship.
You talk about how profound this was. Like, just giving him this blowjob was, but you, like, don't remember anything. about anything about it. It's like telling me something, but you're having trouble coming up with details about it. You know what I mean? Like if it's that profound.
I mean, I gave him a blowjob. How do you describe a blowjob? I mean, is that
Well,
what
I'm
you
not
want
want
me
to
to
know
do?
like about the blowjob. I'm just
Yeah.
so if this is a
You just said
factual thing
He
that happened
does.
3 years ago. I feel like
I mean, if you could explain it in details, just like for evidence, and just explain it just for my records. This has gotten funny. It's not even like she's done, bro. She's finished. Like she just stopped right there.
you
She's
would kind
done.
of remember some stuff about it. Like I
Yeah,
feel
I
like,
mean, like we said in the car, you know.
like when I asked you who was there, him of course, like when y'all met or whatever, and then when I asked like who else, you said it was like a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
But like you can remember one
I mean, I
chick's
was with
name
my
after
friend
you
Chris.
think about it for 30 seconds. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I was-
not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in the blowjob from 3 years ago. Find that hard to believe. Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us.
Yeah.
Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done. Have y'all had any inappropriate contact, whether it's groping, blowjobs, vaginal, anal sex, anything, hand jobs?
Damn, he went in. That man went. He give a hey. Was any hole penetrated? Did you get cream pie? What you get? Anything? What? Tell me. I want to know. I want it all. List it all. Do you have pictures? Video? Well, they have video, but yo, my God. Yo, he's naming everything, man. He went in.
Yes, I am being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
Just as the detectives say, things really aren't adding up. Yet she's still sticking to her story. Or at least she was, before a switch flipped and she said this.
I mean, what is it?
I might have given him a blowjob in the back part of the
In the back part of the quad? Okay. How long ago was that?
I don't know, a few months ago.
The secret's out, and Charlene has confessed.
I might have given him a BJ. I might have. I can't really remember. How do you forget it?
But this matter is more complex than it may seem. In cases of officer-inmate relations, the main question that arises is the issue of consent. Given that Jason and Charlene knew each other prior to being in prison, it's not wrong to assume that consent went both ways in this interaction. However, in these cases, that's actually completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
According to a 2005 report, federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and contact between prison staff and inmates, and that all sexual relations between staff and inmates are considered abuse, even if the act would have been considered consensual if it occurred outside of a prison. This is because of the huge amount of inmate abuse that was observed in prisons. In 1996, it was estimated that between 12 and 14% of all prison inmates had been sexually assaulted, and the officers were rarely punished. So to prevent this, a zero-tolerance policy was introduced to try and prevent abuse towards inmates.
Wait, was there like a percentage of tolerance before? It was all right. We'll tolerate 15%, but no more than that. And then they went down to 0 or what?
A policy, it seems, that Charlene completely ignored.
I'm gonna ask, but I feel like I know the answer. I'm losing my job.
Obviously.
So that's not really up to me. Internal Affairs is aware. Investigation is separate from ours because it's two totally different things. So
Yeah. What kind of charges would, like?
So it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee. So I said the ball kind of be in their court, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
I mean, would I go to jail?
That's up to the DA's office.
As it turns out, Charlene would lose her job, and the only time she'd ever be allowed back in jail would be for the 100 days that she'd be made to serve after being found guilty of sexual activity with a person in custody.
Wow. 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 Yo, I'm telling you, this happens a lot, man. It happens. It happens. And not I've seen it happen on this level one time, and then kind of on another level where we had an officer that I guess she had met enemy. She didn't have any relations with him in the jail, but after he got out, he was living with her, and that's also not allowed. So she ended up getting fired. She didn't get jail time because this was, she didn't do anything in the jail. She was still being an officer in the jail, but after he got out, you know what I'm saying, living with her. Like, and we also have policies for like if it's like your family member that gets arrested. Obviously, you're not gonna get fired if your family member gets arrested and then they go live with, it's like if you have, like, we've had officers that have kids 18, 19, 20, and they get arrested, and then obviously they go back home because if they were living with them, but you're not going to lose your job for that. But um you have to inform the, the jail about that. You do have to inform the jail, you know what I'm saying, that, hey, look, my my son or whatever daughter got arrested, and you know so, but it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. That's crazy. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna go ahead and look for other videos to react to right now. I'm just trying to get them knocked out. I have a busy life. I got school. I got work. And I do these like kind of on breaks and stuff. So because I can't do them at night. There's too many people in the house. And as always, like and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you guys on the next smoke.